Sadly, 2 more children have died as a result of suspected food poisoning. This time it's out on the West Rand of Gauteng. Their deaths come just days after 3 youngsters died in Soweto, allegedly after eating poisoned biscuits. Azince, Mayeye and Othalive Nkatshuka are the latest children to pass away. Let's head over to our reporter Manqoba Mchunu, who's following that for us. Manqoba, hello to you. And obviously anger, devastation, sadness, resentment, all of those emotions are going to come out for the family. But I imagine beyond all of that, on top of all of that, they want answers. Are they getting any?
Well, not at this stage, Gareth, and in fact, as you can understand, Gareth, these families are quite devastated. They still are trying to really understand how their children died. So we spoke to these 2 families who are saying, Gareth, that the last time that they saw the children was when they had gone to a street vendor that is just a few meters away from their homes. The children, we understand, had been playing at the time, and they had then gone to buy some snacks from the street vendor. They're saying that just shortly after returning home, this is when the children started to show symptoms of illness. They were, complaining of stomach cramps. They also had issues with breathing, and when they then tried to inquire as to what was really the issue with the children, they were told by one of the friends that they had eaten some snacks from the street vendor, and it was just a matter of minutes, really, Gareth, before these children took a turn for the worse. And one of the parents telling us that she had then tried to pour water over her child because she had thought that at the time it was due to the heat. And when she did that, she could see that he was still unresponsive. This is the mother of the second child, the 3-year-old boy that she says died shortly after in her arms. So these families are still trying to piece together really what could have led to the deaths of their children. But as you can understand, Gareth, they're quite devastated, and they're hoping that the police investigations are going to come up with some answers as to what really was the cause of the alleged food poisoning, if at all it was food poisoning. But let's take a listen to what one of the mothers had to say about her ordeal.
Wathi uhambile, I think bengabo 11 wahamba wayodlala esuka apha endlini, ndimbizi ndithi Otha suhambe ilanga liyashisayo, athi ndiyabuya ngoku. Okay, ahambe. So ndingabi na obvious uqhela ukuyodlala abuye xa elambile, nangabani ixesha xa elambile uyabuya. Ahambe umntana. Obvious nabantu sibe ndimlandelela because ndiyamazi uqhela ukudlala. Unobe bewuphanga bo1 ndinqenqe ebhedini ndibukela amavidiyo. Umama next door andibize. Athi umntana uwile, manthi ndiyaphuma umbambile so apha umbambe so uyekelela izandla ziyekile, inyawo ziyekile. Xa ndifike ndiyambuza uba kwenzekeni, uthi umbone ewile ngasegeyithini, utsalwa yifriend yakhe uba sukuma. Methi uyamphakamisa umntana uya wonke. Ndibuza itshomi yakhe bazama unitye ntoni, athi thina besithenge amazimba. Okay, mani namaswiti, manithi ndiyamjonga umntana uphuma amatha amaninzi, akakwazi. Ndiyambiza Otha, akakwazi uthetha. Otha like ivoice yakhe ngathi kunento ehlela apha xa isabela. Ndimbambe ndimhlalise, mna ndicifama like buwile kuba kutshisa ilanga, ndimgalele ngamanzi still akavuki, ndihlala naye phansi ndimbeke esifubeni. Since ke evele wathula engasavakala ukuthetha, wathula sade salinda i-transport basimse esibhedlela.
Photos of these children are just far too cute and just far too heartbreaking. And this is only one of the families that you heard from Manqoba as well. I understand you spoke to another family as well. What are they saying?
Certainly, Gareth, we spoke to the family of another child. They were all friends, Gareth, we understand. And this is a 2-year-old boy who had been playing with this group of 4. And at the time, the family saying that they'd seen him coming back home, crying hysterically, and they had asked him what was the issue. And the boy had spoken about the pack of chips that he was carrying. And they assumed at that time that it was maybe perhaps a fight between the friends. over these snacks, but only to see him also taking a turn for the worse. This is where they say they then realized that something was really wrong, and they then called the neighbors to try and take him to hospital. But before they could even take him to hospital, by that time he had already collapsed. He was unresponsive, the grandmother says, and she says that she was quite devastated and heartbroken because he was only 2 years old, and the friend that also died is only 3 years old. This was a group of children that were around the ages of 2 to 6 years old. We understand also, Gareth, that 2 of them are still in hospital, the 4-year-old and the 6-year-old, and it's similar circumstances to the other cases that we've been covering, the cases from Soweto, where also we're seeing quite young children that have been affected by this alleged food poisoning incident. In Soweto, we're talking about children that are 4 years old, 2 of them, and also 1 of them is 6-year-old. We understand that in that incident as well, 2 of the children are still in hospital. So investigations are still continuing, Gareth, to understand there are swabs that have been taken from the different shops and from the different chips or snacks that have been consumed, just to test really where the source of this alleged food poisoning might have come. And we understand that an inquest docket has also been opened by police, who are investigating all these cases, and this brings now to 5 the number of cases that have been reported so far of alleged food poisoning incidents.
All right, Manqoba Mchunu, thank you very much. Indeed, out in Westonaria for us, a devastating day for all the parents, the loved ones and their caregivers of these little ones who were simply enjoying a snack, and now they've lost their lives. That story going to unravel, I'm sure, as the day's gone on. Lots of questions to ask, not just those who sold these snacks, but also how they were sourced, to what were the supplier of this food as well. There's a lot of questions to be asked. We are on that story and will continue to investigate.